guys! Hello everyone, I'm Kim and this is gonna be my channel and my channel is Kimmie. Yeah, here's DJ, he's my husband. So, tell us, what is this channel about?
What the channel is about. Okay, so we thought of this idea and we said, well, let's just go ahead and give it a try. I grew up with video games. From my childhood up until now. I would still argue I'm still a child, but but I mean, like I grew up with games, but she hasn't.
He is a gamer.
So we thought of this idea. I got Kim in the games, and I was like, well, what if we did this thing where you would take on this challenge and try to beat all of the games that I've beaten as I was growing up. So like, I mean, up until now. So, you know, even if there are games from like a year ago, like still, like, you know. So
I have to beat the game, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so just beat the game. No, like to be good at it or something.
Yeah. So okay. So I came up with the rules. I actually wrote down rules on you know, what she would be doing. And so anyway, we call this challenge the gamer's wife turned gamer wife. So gamer's wife turned gamer wife challenge.
Okay,
and
here we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here, basically, the first rule is that we'd have a list of games, and the games on the list, they have to be games that I've beaten or completed.
Okay.
So this doesn't include party games, fighting games, racing games, sports games, or games that I've played but have not beaten. So you have to beat games that I've beaten, okay?
Okay.
All right, so second thing, she can use guides. She can use guides, okay?
Can I use cheats?
We'll get to that later. Okay, so she can use guides. She can use guides. You can ask me for tips.
Okay.
And even she can team up with me for co-op games, but she has to be the one to beat the game.
Okay.
That means that I cannot take the controller and just help her with whatever challenge she faces.
It's gonna be challenging.
Yeah.
His games, I was just watching him playing games, and for me, those are tough. I play games too, but I think it's his fault too because I don't like pixelated games. The first game that we played is Terra, and it's so good. Now I have to beat his game as a challenge, so please bear with me.
and for those of you that don't know Terra, Terra Online, that's the game that we played together when we were dating.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the first game I introduced, and so but that's okay. That's all right. You know, you'll get used to it, I'm sure.
I'm scared. I'm nervous, but I have to do this. So I accepted the challenge. So we'll see how is it gonna go.
Yeah. So okay. So I can't take the controller and help you.
Okay.
And you have to be the first player.
Okay.
So basically, if we're playing games, this is important for games like Sonic. If we're playing Sonic 2,
I don't like Sonic.
if we're playing Sonic 2 together, then I have to play as Tails. She can't play as Tails because Tails doesn't beat the game. Sonic beats the game. Okay.
I don't like
you
Sonic.
can't. So I can, but I can be helpful
gosh.
with Tails. I can get rings and stuff. But I mean, yeah, she has to play as Sonic. So
okay.
yeah.
Oh, this is really gonna be so challenging. Cause I saw him playing Sonic. It's not just fast, and I have to be what's the word for that? You know, like jumping and Yeah, you have to be good at timing too.
Yeah, platforming.
Platforming. So we'll see how is it gonna work for me.
Yeah. Well, she's gonna have to learn. Yeah. So, okay. So third rule: while she doesn't have to complete each game that I've 100%ed, because I have some games that I've completed 100%, and you don't have to do that. But you have to beat. She has to beat the game to a reasonable degree. So.
That's more scary.
And we're gonna get into that in a second. I put a footnote here, but now you can choose to complete games that complete games that I've completed. So if you want to complete a game, or if there's a game that I beat and then you just want to beat it,
okay,
then
help me. Please help me.
you want to beat everything in the game, then yeah, you can do that. So,
okay.
But of course, you can get tips from me, but you can look up guides, but, So yeah, there's some games that I 100%ed. Most of those were Sonic games. But anyway, okay, so I mentioned to a reasonable degree. So what that means, you basically have to see the credits roll or experience all the main story. So I actually have an example for those of you who do know these games. Now, everyone should know Sonic. If you don't know Sonic, Google. I'm sure you know Sonic. You see him back there. He just had a successful movie, so you should know who Sonic is. But the other series that I'm going to mention is called Star Ocean. So I wrote down the example of Star Ocean, the second story for the PlayStation 1. Again, this is stuff you can Google, you can look up. Versus the Sonic Adventure games. Now, if you were to play and beat the Star Ocean, the second story, you'll know that there are two different stories, and of course, you can just play one of them, and then that would count. Just playing one of the stories.
Okay.
But for the Sonic Adventure games, see, you have to play all the stories to get the whole story.
Okay.
And so, it's not like Star Ocean where the story just changes just a little bit. No, the Sonic games, you have to play all the stories in the game. And the stories are shorter, so, it's not that bad,
Okay.
But, FYI, I didn't beat Star Ocean, the second story, so you get let
So
up.
maybe I will have the chance to beat it first before him.
Yeah, because I've tried to, but it's not that I couldn't beat it. It's just that I couldn't stay engaged. I could just, I don't know. Star Ocean isn't my favorite series, but it's cool. It's cool. Okay, so number 4.
How many rules is there?
So there's only 5 rules, but I mean, they're kind of detailed though,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So rule number 4, she can choose to beat any version of a game that I've beaten. This includes ports or enhanced ports and faithful remakes. So
I don't know what that words are. So
yeah,
oh my.
Okay, so we take for example Final Fantasy VII, for example, right?
Ooh, it's gonna come soon.
Yeah, the remake is coming soon. So that's a good example. She can play any of the Final Fantasy VII, the old Final Fantasy VII. But the remake isn't really it's a faithful remake, but it's not really the battle system's totally different. The game's being cut into parts. That wouldn't count. That game wouldn't count. But what would count is something like the Link's Awakening remake. So for the Nintendo Switch, she can I've beaten Link's Awakening for the original Game Boy version. So you could play the Switch version because it's a faithful remake. It's just updated graphics,
Link's
So
Awakening.
Link's Awakening is a game.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I'm really not into game, okay? But he loved games. not just to play whatsoever, but very interesting game. So yeah,
Yeah.
this is gonna be challenging.
So rule number 5, no cheats.
No cheats.
No cheats.
Oh,
No cheats,
okay.
Yeah, it's all skill. You have
Oh
to,
my, okay.
because here's the thing, right? Like once you get to hold on. So once you get to that point, right? Once you've beaten all these games, you become, I mean, experience, right? Like, you know, like you'll have all these games under your belt. You'll be a gamer yourself.
Okay.
You know, so it's like that's hence the title, gamer's wife turned gamer wife. You know, so that's just, you know.
But if I had a hard time, and then I'll call you then. Please help me.
Yeah,
I think it called cheese.
No,
I think it's
but
guide.
no, yeah, that's true. Like I can give you tips, but I cannot take the controller from her. Like
Okay.
you have to do it all yourself.
Okay.
So like we have, like, I have a list of games, and what I'll do is I'll probably like put that list somewhere so everyone can see it. And I was thinking about printing it out, and then we would like cross out like each one. But I gotta figure that part out, how we would do that. But and then maybe sometime I'll start doing videos where I'm like trying to beat games that I played that I haven't beaten yet. So, you know, that could be just to boost, you know, the numbers of games she would have to. But there's some obscure ones too. There's some games that I beat that, I mean, hardly anyone knows about. But yeah, that's
okay.
it.
Okay, I think I should get away from cheating. Because I remember when I play Animal Crossing, I really need to check on Google how to cut the tree, because I have my 3DS and I have Animal Crossing there, and I really have to check how to cut the tree. It's so funny. So
But that's not cheating though. That's different, you know.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, reasonable degree, right?
Yeah, you have to
Okay,
beat the game to
so-
a reasonable degree. So
Is there more
rules?
rules?
No, that's it. Just those 5.
Alright, that's it. So challenge accepted.
Yep. All right.
So you guys gonna see the episodes of the game that I'm going to play, and I hope you like it. And that's it. Give us a comment or whatever.
Subscribe.
Please subscribe, hit like, and share if you like it. And give me some tips too on how to play some more games.
Yeah.
If you want, we can check it and consider also what kind of game I should play next time after I beat a game.
Yeah. So we'll post the list somewhere on the channel, and then, or make another video with the list or something. I don't know. And then you guys can, like, maybe after a little while or something, we can have you guys vote on which games to play.
Yes.
And then we'll do that.
Yes.
And then of course there was one more thing. We'll review. We're gonna do reviews together where we review each game.
Yeah, he'll review how I sucks on games.
No. We're not reviewing how she does. We won't do that. We're not gonna review how she does. But we'll review, like, we can do this thing where, like, you know, she'll talk about what she likes about it, what she dislikes about it, and I'll talk about what I like about it and dislike about it. You might see we might have different opinions, or we might agree, and then we'll do reviews like that. So.
Yep. Okay. So thank you guys, and please support me on this challenge, and see you on my first game.
And don't forget to hit the bell.
Thank you.